Hi everyone. So just a quick disclaimer, warning, whatever you want to call it, out there. This is going to be a video on my crossbows and my traps. Now, again, it's just a warning, disclaimer and all that. So I repeat, I am not going out hunting. I do not use these every day, or every week, or every month, or every year. These are the first time I brought these items out of the bag. As you can see on the background there's a bag. Since I purchased these items back in 2015. These have not been out of the bag. They have been stored away in a safe place. And I have no intentions on showing anyone how to use these, and I have no intentions on showing how powerful these are, and I have no intentions on going out, quote, hunting for food. After this video, these items will be put back into the bag, which is over there, and they will be put under lock and key in storage under lock and key. And they will not be taken back out unless someone wants me to do an update on this video. But again, it will be a video like this. I will not be taking them out in public, and I will not be taking them out into my garden. Reason being is because here in the UK, it is against the law to take these items and a gun into a public area. So in other words, I can't take these into the woods and, quote, hunt for animal. I can't take these out into the woods and, quote, practice. If I get caught with these from the police, I will be arrested and these will be taken off me. Again, it's up to the police how they want to charge me for having these items. But at the end of the day, I don't have to worry about that because I am not going to take these out the house. I'm not even going to take these into the garden. They'll be put back in the bag under lock and key, and I will be the only one that knows where the key is for this item. Now, it is not illegal to own crossbows. It's not illegal to own a archery set. It is not illegal to practice on private land, whether that will be in your back garden. A communal area, meaning if you're in a block of flats and there's a garden that you and your neighbours share, that's illegal. You can't do that in a communal area. It has to be private to you and to you only, or your family. I can use these. I do have a back garden, and I can use these in my back garden if I choose to. Again, it's something that I'm allowed to do. I am allowed to use these in my back garden. I choose not to because I do have a small, very small garden. This bow here with those arrows, I did try it once in my back garden and never again. Not because it's a rubbish bow, it's a good bow. But the arrows, the crossbow is so powerful that when I fired the arrow, or the bolt as it's also known, but I'm going to say arrow, but the real name for these are bolts. but for the sake of this video, I'm going to say arrow. I fired one of these arrows through a target. Oh, I aimed at a target. It went through the target, through the fence, and carried on going. Lucky enough, beyond my fence, there's nothing beyond my fence, so I didn't have to worry about people being on the other side of the fence, because my back garden leads on to nothing, if that makes any sense. And lucky enough, I knew on that particular day there was no one in my back garden or behind the fence. So yeah, this crossbow here, the big one, when fired, it went through the frame, target, went through the fence, and carried on going. Until this day, I still can't find the arrow that I shot. So let's hope that it's buried in the ground somewhere, and not on someone's leg or in an animal. So like I said, I will not be using this crossbow unless I have to. Again, I'll speak a little bit more about that a little bit later on in the video. But as a general rule, it is not against the law, and you don't need a license to own any of these items. As long as you're over 18, and you can prove that you're over 18, and as long as you're prove to the police and prove to the law that you are using these items as a hobby, and you can use them, as like I said, as a hobby or leisure, whatever you want to call it. If you can't prove to the police that you're using this as, like I am at the moment, using it for leisure, hobby, whatever you want to call it, and if the police catch you with these in the street, like I said, you will be arrested. Again, I wanted to say out there as well, here in the UK, there's quite a lot of knife crime. And I wouldn't say it's getting harder to own or to get knives. You can still get a good survival knife, you can still get a good bushcraft knife, etc. But over here in the UK, the UK government and the police and all that are really cracking down on people carrying knives. Again, there's been quite a few attacks over the years when it comes to people carrying knives. All I'm going to say to those people here in the UK that think it is cool to carry a knife, think it's cool to put that knife into somebody else, whether you're joking or whether you're being serious about it, it's not cool. It's not right. If you are watching this video, I'm talking about the people here in the UK. If you're watching this video knowing that you're going to leave the house with a knife in your pocket, I would seriously think about leaving that knife at home, regardless of whether you're going to use it or not. The reason why I'm saying this is because, like I said, they are cracking down on people carrying knives, unless you have a very good reason, unless you're a chef, unless you work in some kind of kitchen environment. I know quite a lot of agency chefs that go from one job site to another job site, and they keep their knives in the back of their car. Again, they can prove that they're a chef, because all they have to do is just phone up the agency and get their boss to say, yeah, that person's a chef. But if you're a teenager and you think it's cool to carry a knife, do yourself a favour, leave it at home. Again, the other reason being is because, yeah, they're cracking down on knives, and once they've cracked down on knives, I believe that the government will, and not just the government, but the police as well, will start cracking down on things like crossbows. When you buy a crossbow, you don't need a license. You don't need a background check. Like I said, as long as you're over 18, you can buy any of these items without a security check. So, I personally believe in the future, all these items will be banned here in the UK, along with one that's already banned here in the UK. But you can still buy them. But like I said, if you get caught, yeah, totally different story. But like I said, they're cracking down on those, and this will be the next thing that they will be cracking down on. I will personally believe in the future, either I've got to have a license to carry this, or I've got to either hand them over to the police or destroy them. Like they did with guns. If anyone is at an age where they can remember, handing in your gun back in the day, because years ago you didn't need to have a license to have a gun. And I think, if I remember right, back in very early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, there was a school shooting up north, and the police said, "Oh, anyone with a gun, you got to hand them in." And hundreds of thousands, well, I wouldn't say hundreds of thousands, but quite a lot of people had guns and they had to hand them in because of that school shooting. And again, I personally believe that will happen in this case. If people go around buying these and start, doing stupid things, again, I believe that they'll have a crackdown on these. Anyway, enough of me whinging. I'm hoping, because I've been talking about the law and that kind of stuff now for the last 12 minutes, and I want to actually crack on with the actual video. So again, guys, be sensible, be smart. Don't use this. Do not take it out into the woods. Do not take it out in the public place, because you will get arrested. Simple as that. If you're going to buy one, fine. Go ahead, buy one. They're very good. But lock it up. Hide it in a safe place. Make sure you lock it up like I do. And only take it out if you have good intention. I.e., you're hungry, you got no food, there's no food in the shops, there's no law, no government, the police are not out, you can't call for help, and there's no support, there's no food banks that you can go and get your food from. Again, this video and these crossbows will, to a degree, if you know what you're doing, you can get food from these items. And that's what I want this video to be about. In this scenario, I'm talking about, from now on, I'm talking about a scenario where there is no law. Okay? If I need to hunt deer, a fox, I will be going for the bigger one. So for any big game, so if I want, and a cow and horses, any big animals like that, in a scenario, go for the bigger bow. If you're planning, so if you're in an area where there is no deer, there is no horses, there is no cows, and there is no foxes, that kind of thing, but there's quite a lot of squirrel, quite a lot of rabbit, maybe like larger birds, you can go for the smaller bow, which is this one here. Let's see if I can pick it up. Which is, it does need to get clean, by the way, guys. And again, it just shows you how dusty and dirty it is. it shows that I haven't used it since I bought it. Again, it goes into storage and I forget about it. But if you want to get rabbit, I'm going to use that for example. This is kind of one you would go for. And they're the size bolts or arrows. I'm going to say arrows for the sake of this video. These are kind of arrows you go for. It does have a lock-in mechanism. So you push that down. It's very hard to do it on camera, but you keep putting and it locks in. Like I said, it's very hard to do it on camera. Like I said, that's for smaller animals. And this one here is for, I wouldn't say closer range, but anywhere from like 100 to 200 feet, roughly. Between 100 and 150, 200 feet away. Again, you can get a little bit more closer with that one. This one, the bigger one. See if I can turn it sideways. Yeah, that'll have to do, guys. It's very hard to, for me to at the moment to film and to show you what it's like. But this longer one, obviously, it's a further distance shot than the smaller one. It does have a viewfinder on the top, and with this one, you can store arrows at the top. You've got a foot placement, so when you reload the string and the bow and all that, that's a foot end. You put that end up against your waistline or your stomach or whatever, and you pull the string up. And you pull the string up, and it locks in, and it stays there. It does have a safety cap as well, so you put the safety on, like the smaller one. You put the safety on, you load the arrow in, and then when you're ready to fire, then you take the safety off, then you fire. But again, this one goes a little bit more further shot. So good, again, I'm just guessing, guys. Like I said, apart from the one time in my back garden, I don't really know how far the arrow goes. But I'm assuming a good. Again, I'm guessing. Please don't, please don't complain, because like I said, I'm guessing. Okay, good 600-700 feet. Again, I'm just guessing. I don't know. That's not a fact. I'm just guessing. So good 700-800 feet, maybe even more. The draw power is 175 pound. So it can quite easily go through or injure, depending on how far the way the animal is. It can quite easily go into a large animal, like a deer, like a cow or horse, a fox. It will quite easily go through that animal. The smaller one was 85 pound of pressure. So again, not as powerful as the big one, but still powerful enough. Again, that's strong enough to go through like something small, like a squirrel or a rabbit. What else can I tell you about these bows? like I said, I don't use these bows. Like I said, they go back into the bag and I forget about them. I don't use them. I don't even take them to an archery school, if you want to call it that. I don't even take them to an archery school and quote practice archery. So, and again, I'm not an expert. I never said I was an expert, and I never will say that I'm an expert. So, again, I can't really go into detail about the performance of these bows. All I do know is that the bigger one can take down bigger animals, the smaller one takes down smaller animals. And that's all I can tell you, I'm afraid. Like I said, I don't do it as a hobby. Like I said, I'll go more into that a little bit later on. So the arrows, as you can tell, the arrows are a lot bigger for the big bow than the smaller bow. These are made out of fiberglass, and like I said, guys, when I fired this, when I first got it, I fired it into in my garden. Went straight through the foam padding that I had. Went straight through the fence, and disappeared. I fired another one. I will be honest, I did fire another one. And I made sure that I fired. I know it's stupid, but again, I want to see how like the power of the bow. So I made sure that I didn't fire it into the fence. I made sure I fired it into mud. I did that. I fired it into mud. Like I said, I was a good, couple 100 feet from where I was to the mud. It wasn't point blank. It was a good, I would say, 30 feet, 40 feet from where I was to the mud. So good distance. Obviously I put the foam mat against the mud, fired into it a good 30 feet, 40 feet away, and the arrow, which is made out of fiberglass, actually shattered into little pieces. The tip, the actual arrow bit, I couldn't find the arrow bit, and this bit was actually all splintered. Obviously not this one, guys, but one similar to this, all shattered along here. It just exploded. I would say about halfway down, and all the feathers on it were destroyed on it as well. Again, it wasn't this one; it was a different one. So that's the thing about fiberglass arrows. They are good, but at the 30-40 foot range, these will shatter into splinters. Then you have to go out and buy more. So if you are gonna go to a shooting range where they allow you to use crossbows in a safe environment, make sure that it's a good couple of 100 feet from where you are to the target. Because I can guarantee you by the end of the lesson, by the end of your lesson or whatever it is that you're doing at the shooting range, you'll be very lucky to walk away with any arrows left. So make sure that it's a good, like I said, a good couple of 100 feet from you in the target. Again, if you're going to a shooting range, make sure it's a good shooting range where they're very tough on things like health and safety and stuff like that. You don't want to go down a back street shooting range. Make sure it's a good proper shooting range. The other good thing about this is that you can take. So if I try and show you, so you can take the tip off, and so if there's anything wrong with this tip, you can take it off. And let's see whether I can get one. And you can replace it with a tip similar to this. Now, again, these tips, I'm being very careful how I touch them. These tips are like razor blades. And again, if what you're shooting at is at a fair good distance away and you're umming and ahhing whether your arrow is going to have enough power per time it reaches that target, again, you can put something like this in there, sort of 3 blades. That will pierce the skin, or if the animal's got a very thick skin, like a pig, for example, it's got a very thick skin, you can use something like this. Again, you can use this on the larger animals. They're more ideal on larger animals. And again, when this goes through into an animal, so that's what it kind of looks like, guys. That's what it kind of looks like. When this, obviously, when it goes through an animal, it will literally rip and tear literally through everything. So if it goes right through and comes out the other side, it will rip literally everything. And the animal will have internal bleeding, obviously. So yeah. Again, guys, I'm talking about hunting here if you need to hunt. So all of this is if you need to. If you need to take down a deer, if you need to take down a horse, whatever the case may be. I'm talking about hunting for animal situation. So, which goes into my third bit. Oh, that string on the back there. So that string on the back there, that is to help you pull back the string on the bow. It is hard to pull back the string. That gives you it's like 50% easier with that string than it would if you were just doing it by hand. It's like 50% easier or something. But yeah, that's pretty much helps you pull back the string on the bow. Just talked about the arrows, just talked about the bolt. Now talking about the traps. Is this enough traps to catch an animal? No, it's not enough traps. I need 4 or 5 times the amount of traps I have. I can only afford 2, but will that actually catch what I need now? I do watch this guy on YouTube, and he has hundreds and hundreds of these 2 traps. I mean literally hundreds. Obviously he's from America, he's an American guy that does survival and whatnot, And he does actually do videos on trapping and all that. And yeah, he talks about having up to 20 traps set in different locations. And he talks about not always will you catch something. Out of 20 traps, he'll be very lucky if he gets one trap go off. The rest of them normally lay dormant for weeks and months. And then obviously he moves it to a different location where there's a little bit more life, so to speak. He's more of an expert. I'm not going to say who he is, but he's more of an expert than I am. He knows what he's doing. I do know what I'm doing, but not to the extent of what he knows what he's doing, if that makes any sense. So do I need more? Yeah, absolutely. Rabbit traps, or snares, as they're also known. Again, you tie them up to a tree, like the green bit, tie it up to a tree. Hopefully the rabbit will go through. Again, not very humane way of doing it, because again, the idea of these is to get it around their neck, and then as they're moving, it will tighten, and then they, suffocate. Sometimes it's like they get caught like midway, or the back end gets caught in the trap, and then they're like stuck until you go and sort them out. So it's not a very humane. None of these are like a humane way. It doesn't end their life. It just traps them in that place where you got them until you go there and put them out their misery. So yeah. What else? I hope that I've explained that well. Again, all these 3 traps, I do have quite a few of the rabbit snares, but again, these 2 traps doesn't put the animal out their misery. Is more of like it would trap their leg, so it'd be like around their ankle, until you go there and do what you have to do to that animal. Again, never tried it, but I have watched videos on other people doing it. So I'm just sharing that little bit of information with you, with what I've seen other people do. Like I said, I've never actually tried any of this myself, so the information I'm giving you, it's either I'll watch someone else do it, or I'm just guessing or what it could do in a situation. The one thing I haven't showed you, and both of them are pretty much the same, and at the end of this video I will give you a little bit of a close-up of the bigger bow. But once you pull back the string, and I will give these a good clean up, guys, one day. When you pull the string back, it locks in this little bit here. You see that little groovy bit there? It locks into there. It probably won't do it because the string's not pulled back. Yeah. So it's not safe when it's pulled back like that. When you push this little bar bit here, it locks it in, and it keeps it safe. Now, most of these bows automatically, when you pull the string back, it automatically clicks in, and then when you're like a gun, when you're ready to fire, just pull that back and then pull the trigger, and then it fires. Let's see whether I can get on the floor. and show you a little bit of a close-up of the bigger bow. Sorry guys, I have to get on the floor for this bit because I want to give you guys a bit of a close-up on the bigger bow. So, to be honest with you, I can't remember how much these bows cost me. But again, how much don't cost doesn't matter, to be honest. So again, with this one, when you pull the string back, it goes into, let's see if I can zoom in. It clicks into this back bit here. And this button, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this button here is the safety. So when it clicks in, it will automatically lock, and then when you're ready, just push it forward, and then there's a trigger here, and it fires. I'm not going to load, like I said guys, I'm not going to load this up. Because like I said, I have no intention whatsoever on firing this bow. Like I said, it's just a close-up, guys, of my bow. Again, that's where you put your arrows. So your arrows will sit in there just like so, and then again, there it goes in the front there. So you pull the string back first, lock the string in place, and then you put the arrow in, and then it kind of slips in the front there, like so. When you pull the trigger, and the string actually shoots the arrow out. And just kind of like explaining how a bow works if you don't have one, and you want to know roughly how it works. Again, this is not lip balm, by the way, guys, so please don't go out and buy lip balm. If you have a crossbow, don't buy lip balm for this. It probably does work, but I would personally buy what is this? So this is actual wax. A wax stick. It looks like lip balm, and every so often, so they recommend after every 5 shots with the string. Let's see if I can quickly show you. So every I think it's 5 shots, you put a little bit of wax on, like so. Again, I'm just doing a very quick bodge job, guys. It doesn't need it because I haven't used it, so it's probably still got the wax on from almost 10 years ago. And then obviously you smear it on, like I said, every so many shots, or whenever you think it needs a good shot. Just put some wax on the old string. You can take the string off and do it that way, and give it a really good wax. But that's basically what you do. So every so many shots, it does, when you buy the bow, it does come with instructions. You can buy, again with the smaller one as well, you can buy replacement string for it. Any good supplier, if you do decide to get yourself a crossbow, any good supplier should give you one of these. And again, this helps you put a new string on. It is very difficult without something like this to help you put that string on. And even with this, it's still kind of difficult. I hope I've explained everything. Like I said, guys, you will not see me use this bow. If you see any future videos on this bow, it will be a conversation like this. You will not see me use this bow any way, shape or form. I hope I covered everything I need to cover. There's the bag. So anybody that's asking about the bag, there is the bag. You can store obviously your crossbow in there, and any arrows or any other bits of kit that you got for your crossbow. You can store it within the bag itself. And again, any good place where you get your crossbow again should give you that option of buying a bag for it. As always, guys, I would highly recommend getting yourself a bag to put your crossbow in, because as you can tell with both bows, this one is very dirty and this one hasn't been in the crossbow in the bag, and it does need a good clean, which I will do at some point. Now, and there is enough room to put it in that bag with this crossbow. As you can tell, this has been in the bag, and it looks as good as the day I bought it. Nothing wrong with it. Not dusty, not dirty, nothing. So with the smaller one, I will clean up at some point and put it inside the bag with the other. Again, guys, I hope I've covered everything. I hope I explained myself well. Again, guys, be careful if you're planning on buying a crossbow or an archery set here in the UK. Obviously, different countries have different laws. Again, yeah, follow the law, follow the rules, be sensible, be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Do not put yourself or anyone else in danger when using a crossbow, if you decide to use your crossbow. Do not take it out in public. Keep it on private land. Keep it locked away. Keep it safe. Yeah, just don't be stupid, because it affects us survivalists, us preppers, us bushcraft people. It will affect us in the future, like it is at the moment with owning a knife. It will become very hard, very difficult, and in a end of the world kind of like scenario, this could literally save your life when it comes to hunting food. Because when the shops are not open, when there's nothing to eat in the shops, and you run out of food, what are you going to do? Yeah, I would explore all your options first. But at the end of the day, when you need to go hunting for food, you're going to need something. And like I said, guys, I'm talking about the end of the world, no law, no police, you're on your own. And you have to get food for yourself, and you have to get food for your family. What are you going to do? End of the world scenario. You look at COVID, for example. Yeah, that could have gone horribly wrong. And if this country fell, and there's no government, no law, no police, no ambulance, no fire services, what are you going to do? Yeah, you got no food. Shops are completely empty. There's riots on your back door. People looting on your back door, looking for food. What are you going to do? In an end of the world situation, what are you going to do? Yeah. So, Like I said, never used it, not planning on using it unless it is the end of the world scenario where I've got no food and I need to go and get some food. I know if I get a deer, that'll last me, well, I wouldn't say a lifetime, but the deer will go off and start to rot before I even have a chance to eat all of it. So, I hope I explained myself well. I know I've had quite a few comments on, people saying, oh, what about this? What about that? Oh, I can't believe you're doing this. Oh, I had this one person commenting like, you got the gear, but you don't have you have the gear, but you don't have the knowledge. I survived COVID, and during COVID, I spent quite a lot of time in the woods because I didn't want to be around people. Yeah. Where I live, I live in the woods, but there's 49 other houses around where I live, and I didn't want to talk during COVID, during lockdown. I didn't want to talk to any of them. So what did I do? I go in the woods. There's no one in the woods during COVID, during lockdown. There's no one in the woods because you weren't allowed to go out. So I survived that. I survived COVID, where so many people didn't. Like I said, I went camping. I know it's in a controlled environment, but I went camping for a week in Cornwall. Used my bug out bag with all my equipment in it. The only thing I didn't take, obviously, was my crossbow. Again, I survived the week camping. I know it was in a controlled environment. I know if I was in danger, I could call the emergency services and get help. I know how to make fire, and hopefully in the future, guys, it's December, it's Christmas time. Obviously it's busy for all of us, but hopefully in the future, I can make fire, etc. I'm going to show you all my stuff. And again, I'm not doing this. I need to get off the floor. Again, guys, I'm not making these videos. I'm not making these videos to prove a point. I'm not making these videos to make myself look stupid. I know my skill set. I know how far I can go. I know how long I can survive in my area. If I had to, in a doomsday scenario, and I had to get out of the area, obviously, here in the UK, there is no desert here in the UK. I am not going to bug out to a desert. I'm not going to get onto a plane and go to Death Valley in America. I just won't be, okay? I won't be, I don't know, getting on a plane and bugging out to Spain or Florida or any of these hot countries. I won't be bugging out to some far-fetched bug out location where I know that my gear won't work. I'll be bugging out within the UK. Somewhere in the UK, if I had to bug out, it'll be somewhere within the UK. It will not be some crazy far-fetched place where I know that my life will be in danger. I know I can go anywhere within the UK and survive because I know my knowledge, I know my skill set, I know what it will have to take for me to get to that location and all that stuff. I know all this stuff, guys. I may come across as a guy that doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know what he's talking about. I do know what I'm talking about, and to me, I know what I'm talking about. And again, my gear that I've got is for my location. It's for me, for my location. My gear is not for somebody else for a different location. My gear is not for someone that lives in America, that lives in Death Valley. It's for me, for my location, for where I live. Yeah? So my bug out bag and my gear is for me. It's not for anyone else. So please, guys, remember that when you create a bug out bag, whether you're bugging out or bugging in, when you make a plan, it's for you. That plan is for you. No one else is gonna, bug out with you, so to speak. Yeah, if you have a family of 5, if it's you and 4 other people, like your family, then yeah, include those people within your family, but sit down and talk about it. I'm not gonna bug out. I'm not gonna, include my next door neighbour. I've got 49 neighbours. I'm not gonna include them in my bug out plan. I'm not gonna bug out for them. My gear is not for them. My gear is for me. And I'm just sharing what I've got. You know what I mean? So if you look at my gear and think, oh, that's really nice. Oh, I really like that. I wonder where he's got it from. And then you may look at your scenario or where you are and think, you know what, that's not going to work for me. Fine. If it doesn't work for you, fine. But if it does work for you, I'm glad that I could help you in that situation. If you really like my hammock, then ask me, where did you get it from? I'll tell you where I got it from. Try it out. You think, oh, man, this is not for me. Then fine, sell it. Get your money back. Buy something else that is going to work for you. Okay? And again, I'm going to make another video on this because I'm already talking about 52 minutes already just on my crossbow. So please, guys, if you're a survivalist, if you're a prepper, if you're a bushcraft person, do it for you. Don't do it for somebody else. I'm not doing this for somebody else. Don't do it for somebody else. Do it for you. If you've got a family of 5 or family of 4 or family of 100, then, and you want to prep for them, fine, but get them involved. I'm prepping for me. My partner, he's 39 years old. He can prep for himself. I told him that when it gets us to that point, you're on your own. I love you, but I'm on my own. He's on his own. Same my family, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, my nieces and aunties and uncles, and they're on their own. I can't prep for everyone. They'll be on their own like I will be on my own. Okay, so prep for, if your gear is completely different to mine, I do not have a problem with that. Because you're prepping for yourself. You're not prepping for me. You're not prepping for me, and I'm not prepping for you. I'm prepping for myself. So just remember that, guys. This equipment I'm sharing with you, again, it's for my benefit. And I know that I'm repeating myself, but I can't get this out enough. I am prepping for me. And if your gear is completely different to mine, I do not have a problem with that. I couldn't care less what you got in your kit. Okay? The reason why I don't care what you got in your kit is because I've got my own kit, and I know that my kit works for me and your kit works for you. That's why I don't care what you got in your kit, because As long as you can survive with what you've got, great. And as long as you know the gear that I've got, I can survive with that, with what I've got for me, great. So please guys, I like the comments. I do read your comments. I don't always reply to all of them, but I do read your comments, etc. But please guys, just remember, I'm doing this for me. I'm prepping for me, and I'm just sharing what I've got. And if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay? So just remember that. Thanks for watching. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Thank you to all my old subscribers. And if you like these videos, again, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Yeah, please, like, tell me, please share, your thoughts with me. Because if you say, oh, what about this and what about that? Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? I may not have thought about it until you mention it. I know when I went out on Saturday, I know that I need a water purification. I've got one for home, but I need one for camp. I've got a survival straw, but that's not what I've got in mind, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Catch you all later. I'll make another video later on in the week. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon.